Hi, friends. It's Laura Milligan. Happy Monday. Um, Thank you for joining me today. I have a celebration today, and I'm going to be celebrating all week with you. It is my 25th anniversary as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. That is so, I can't even believe that that is true, but it is, it's true. Yeah, it was the year 2000, and my youngest daughter was 2 years old. My other girls would have been 9, 11, and 13. And I have so many fond memories. Oh my gosh, so many things that have happened over the years. Some of you have been stamping with me almost 25 years, if not the whole time. And so you, of course, I really appreciate all of you and all of you that have supported me over the years. Like I still can't really believe that's even possible. I still remember going to my first workshop. So when I first started doing this for many years, I would pack up all my things, carry it out to my car, drive to somebody's house. I drove everywhere. I never said no to anybody. I was just excited to go and share what I loved, my stamping, right? But I remember I went to my friend Jane's house for my very first workshop, and I can remember so well. I was so nervous, and I wanted to make sure I said the right things and didn't forget anything that they needed to know. I had written out everything that I was going to say on note cards, like my little speech, and I don't think I really used it that night, but it was funny. And I remember my husband Rich and my girls like all hugging me and saying, good luck, mom, as I walked out the door. And I think that they say the rest is history. I don't think that any of us, my husband or my daughters, would have ever imagined that 25 years later I would still be doing this and enjoying it and loving it so much. So thank you for watching today. If you're there, give a shout out. I do have some fun things that I'm going to be doing this week. So every day this week, I'm going to be doing some kind of a post, a picture of something. I have some memorabilia, some funny photos and things from years ago, throughout my time as a demonstrator. And I thought I'll share one of those every day this week. And all you have to do is leave me a comment. And I will, at the end of that day, actually first thing the next morning, that'll probably be easier. First thing the next morning, I will put everybody's name in a basket for those that have commented, and I'll pull one name and I will send that person a surprise. So it could be, I don't even know what the prize could be, but it's going to be something fun. Maybe some gems, maybe a bolt of ribbon, maybe a blending brush, a pack of blending brushes, something like that. So leave comments, and if you want to share this live, that would be great as well. But leave comments, and then every day this week, come back and see what I'm sharing. And if you leave a comment, you have a chance to win a prize this week. And then the big prize is if you place an order, any $25 order, or for every $25 that you order, I will put your name in a basket. And so if you order $50 before tax and shipping, and before rewards are redeemed, I got to put that in there as well. You would get your name in twice, and so first thing Saturday morning, I'm going to pull 3 names. 2 of the people will get $25 in rewards. I will give them to you so you can use them on anything that you want. And then 1 person will get $100 in rewards. So that is the big prize. So that all you have to do for that is place an order. And, $25 or more. So the more you spend, the more chances you have to win. So I hope that some of you will play along. I'm really excited about it and look forward to you all joining me. So there is Myra, Marcia, Marianne. Yeah, Marianne says she remembers those first years. She sure does. Colleen, Mary Jo, thank you. Yeah, so fun times. Oh my gosh, and I would go, I just remember some of the places I went to. I would get lost on the way home, and back then we had Renee's in the other room. She's laughing because there were times when she's been with me years ago when we would be coming home from something. I always would drag her along with me, and in fact, Mary Jo, Linda Bowen, we had gone to her hometown And oh my gosh, we got so lost on the way home. We got so twisted and turned. But anyway, back then the cell service was not as good. And yeah, it was very interesting. We always say we could write a book about all the experiences. So anyway, I'm going to change my camera view down here. So this is just help me celebrate 25 years with a big chance to win. Yeah, Colleen, I think you have probably been stamping with me for about 25 years. That's awesome. Who else? How long? Share, if you want to leave a comment and let me know how long you've been stamping with me. That would be really fun. And if you have a fun memory to share, I'm sure that many of you hosted parties at your house. Now everybody comes to my house because I have a nice, big, beautiful studio. But anyway, so help me celebrate all week long. So be sure to come back and check. And it's a fun time. So I'm going to go ahead and, yes, you're right, Mary Jo. She lived out in the middle of nowhere, and it was dark, of course, when I was coming home, and boy, oh, we got so twisted around. And we kept seeing, like, we would go down a road, and then there'd be, like, big barricades across the road, and literally, like, a hole in the road. Like, they had dug out a big hole, so we'd turn around, and we'd try a different way, and we'd end up at the same place again. Crazy. Okay, I have a really fun thing. I think it's really fun to share with you today. I'm using brand new product. This is from our newly released online exclusives, and I think they were just released last week. So these are all pretty new, and I'm going to do a really fun card, and I want to show you the products that I'm using. So this is DSP, and it's from a suite called Hobby Haven, and it is what it says. It shows all kinds of different hobbies like painting, cooking. There's a little paint palette, sewing. I know there's a sewing machine. There's coffee. Is coffee a hobby? I don't know. I guess it is to me. I love drinking coffee. But anyway, and it also has, so these are just like those punch out die cuts. And then, let me pull out some of the paper here. Look how cute this is. They say that sewing and knitting is one of the most popular crafts. So you get two sheets of each of the patterns. Here's the back side of that one. I'm not using the suite with this, but I am using a bit of the paper today. So this is fun with like furniture, house plants. I know house plants are so popular right now. Really cute little scenes with the chair and things. This one's really cute too. Oh, I forgot to show you the back of this one. Here's the back of that one. Look how pretty. Petal pink. And then this whole sheet is like cooking and baking. Look how cute. There's a blender. There's a rolling pin and cookies, an icing bag. I don't know what the official name is that you call that, but there's a tea kettle, pies, measuring spoons. Just so cute. And there's the back of that one. Look how cute those look together. Hi, Shar. And then this one is books with glasses and lights. This is my daughter, Faith. Her name is all over this. Well, actually, all my daughters really like to read, but especially Faith. She's actually one of the classes that she teaches is language arts. And look how fun that one is. This reminds me of like pottery. And then this one is really cute. You can see we've used some of this. So look, there's like a sleeping mask. There's lotions. Really, really cute. Okay, and then this is the piece that I'm using today. It's the back side of this. Not pretty? Okay, so that, and then of course you have all these die cuts that you can just punch out, and it makes, and you get 2 sheets. I had to make sure you get 2 sheets of those. That, I love creating with those little die cut things. Okay, so let me show you the bundle that I'm using today. I'm just going to make one card. Oh, here's the other thing that I'm going to be using. I want to show you. This is one of the new online exclusives as well. This is called Whispers of Texture 12 by 12 specialty paper. And I'm going to hold this up, and I don't know if the camera's going to be able to catch it, but there we go. If it catches it, yeah, there we go. So it's like this one has a real small, like fine lines in it, almost like corrugated, but really finely corrugated. And then this one is an added texture. It almost looks like a screen, or it has kind of a pattern to it. I don't think the camera's picking this one up, but they're very subtle. That's why it's called Whispers of Texture, right? So I'm going to be using this in my card. And then the bundle that I'm using is, and this is our new packaging, and look how these are these envelopes, and look how easily you just slip that flap right into those envelopes. Really, really nice. So this is for the dies, this is for the stamp set, and it's called Pop-Up Petals. It has a really cool feature in the dies, and so I'm excited to share this with you. All right, so let me get my kit out. I did a little bit of prep ahead of time for this, but I'm also going to be doing some just with you live. So, all right. So I have, so you know what, I'm going to bring the dies, I'm going to get the dies out so that you can see. Okay. And I've already gone ahead and put my dies on a magnet card. I just like to put my dies on that. I always do that. So, okay, so the dies, you can see, let me show you the coordination with the stamp set. So there's a vase, a bowl and a vase, and the dies coordinate with that. And then there are dies that coordinate with the floral images. There's 2 butterflies, and then there's these pieces. And this is what I'm going to show you how to use today. They are really cool. I'm kind of giving you a hint by the name of this bundle, which is Pop-Up Petals. I'm going to make these petals pop up, and you'll see why and how it's really fun. Okay, so I am starting with just my basic white card base, 5.5 by 8.5. And I remembered to get my newer bone folder so that I don't have the one that I use for like my flecking, because I don't like to score with that one, because oftentimes I get ink on my white card base and I don't want to do that. All right, then I have this piece, and this is that Whispers of Texture. This is cut 5 1/4 by 8. And I have scored it in half at 4 inches. So let me just give this a nice fold as well. Hi, Carmen, how are you? How is everybody doing? Did everyone have a good weekend? Okay, so I'm going to fold this now the opposite way so that the right side of this paper is actually on top. And let me get this out of the way here. I am going to create this mechanism to pop. So there are 2 different dies that you can do this with. I'm going to use the larger one. So I'm going to pull this off. And I'm just going to line this up. And I'm not going to put it too far down. I'm going to put it just about right there. And I've just, the cool thing about this die is they have these little arrows. Let me hold this up so you can see. There's little like points there. Can you see that? There and there. And that's what you want to line up on your score line. And so before I run this through my die cutting machine, I'm going to get a Post-it note. You could use washi tape. There's some other repositional tapes you could get. Let me just make sure this is straight. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to just hold that like this. I'm going to bring my die cutting machine in. And I know this is big, but I wanted to show you how to do this. So I just have that there. And I'm just going to run this through. like weightlifting, picking it up and setting it back on the floor. Okay, so we have this. I'll set these aside for a second here. And when we take this off, it's going to look like this. And so what I will do then is fold this forward like this. Now I'm going to take my bone folder again. Make sure that's creased really well. So we have that. And then what I did was, I did the exact same thing I just showed you, but I did it on a piece of crumb cake because I wanted this to kind of look like a box. Now you could do it, you could make a pretty box, you could leave it white like it is here. You could make it, use like a really pretty pattern of DSP, like this would be cute on there. But I decided to use crumb cake cardstock, and I just used a scrap piece and I die cut. Okay, so that's the same size as this. And then I did these two little pieces. So these little pieces, when you cut them, they score. So I'm just going to fold those in half. Anybody have any guesses what this is? Took me a minute to figure it out. Then I looked at some of the samples that Stampin' Up! Had shared on their website. This is the flap of the box. So what I'm going to do, I didn't really want to have a white box. I wanted to have a crumb cake box. So I die cut this piece, and then I'm going to take my paper snips and just cut along this score line. Oops. As best I can. Like that. And then you can see this is all already scored. I love that. That makes it really, really easy to use. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this down flat. I'm going to get my glue and glue this down. Oh, my lid, gosh, the lid of my glue's coming off. That is not good. There we go. Oh, I hope this, you know what? I think I'm going to get a different glue. Yeah, I'm going to get a different glue. I think I have one right here I can reach because I don't want that to get all over the place. Brand new tube of glue. I was not ready for one anyway, so. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue on my cardboard box. Don't want to put too much on there, but I want it to stick. And I'm just going to line this up, line the score line up, and just line it up like that. And give that a press. So my brother-in-law lives in Traverse City, Michigan, and I have not talked to him, but I heard that they got a foot of snow yesterday. I can't believe it. So I'm going to I'll take my little flaps and I'll just put some glue on there. So we're starting from the outside and working our way to the front of the card, but this is the fun part, so I wanted to show you how to do that. So I'm going to put that there and put some glue on the other flap. So the box is open. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just press this down. I'm going to give that a second. Give that just a second. I feel like this needs to be, okay, we're just going to go with it. So I'm going to put a block there and there just to make sure that those flaps hold. And while those are sticking, I am going to work on the front of the card. Also, thank you to those of you that ordered last week when I had that ordering special with the Peaceful Garden cards. Those are all prepped. They will go out in today's mail. So thank you for that. I appreciated that. So now I have my basic white card base, and then I'm using this Whispers of Texture patterned paper again. Textured paper. I shouldn't really say patterned paper, but It's almost like you've taken an embossing folder and embossed, except that you don't have to do that. It already has this added texture. Okay. Then I have a little piece of my DSP. This is from that Hobby Haven. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Put that about right there, like that. Okay. Then I have a piece. Oh my, this, I don't know what I did, but gosh, I got a lot of glue on that. Well, and you know, like I said, I've been doing this 25 years and I still look at my whole thing, it's all crooked and oh my gosh. We're gonna just keep going. Bear with me here, friends. Let's see if I can fix this. Yeah, I think I can. I've been doing this 25 years and I still get everything sometimes crooked. I think what happened was I decided I should move it up a little bit. Okay, there we go. It may still be a little bit crooked. Okay, then I have a piece for the front. I'm going to do some stamping. I'm going to use the Memento Black ink, and I am going to stamp so I'm going to stamp these sunflowers. Sometimes I look at things and I think they're straight until I have a little distance and then it's like, okay, that is not straight. Okay, so I have that. And then I also have a scrap piece of white and I'm just going to stamp this again. Okay. And then the other thing, so this is going to be my front panel like that. And then I'm also going to stamp the bowl. And I'm going to stamp this in Pool Party. I will be die cutting some of these so I can do these both at the same time. Okay, so let me do that. I'll give that a good press. Isn't that cute with the polka dots on it? Yeah, I wonder if your sister-in-law, I would imagine, well, I would think in Elk Rapids they would have snow as well. I don't know. Okay, so we have those. I'm going to add some color to these flowers. And I'm going to use Petal Pink and Pecan Pie and Old Olive. So I'm going to start with my flowers. And I've got to color in 2 of these, so I'm going to go sort of quickly. This is pretty easy to color. This is just the dark petal pink. You could actually do these in any color, but... Okay, so we've got those. You know what, and I'm going to hop over to this one and just color these as well. I love our blends. Okay, so we got all of our petals colored. And then I'm going to use Pecan Pie, and this is light Pecan Pie. I'm going to do this for the center of my flowers. Okay, so we have that. And then I could take the dark Pecan Pie And just down here where these little dots are, that's part of the stamped image. I can add some, I'm just going to do a few little dots there too. I think that looks good. I like how that looks. Create some light and dark on those flower centers. Okay, so we have that. Then I'm going to just really quickly use some light old olive and just color my leaves. This is such a small little bit that I'm coloring. I could bring in this is light old olive, I could bring in my dark and add a little bit of contrast. But as far as I was concerned for this one, just using one color seemed to be okay. If you really want to take a little extra time, you could easily add some contrast. Okay, so there's the coloring. And then while I'm coloring, I'm going to get I'm going to close this up for now. I'm going to get my Balmy Blue, Pool Party. And I've stamped and cut ahead of time some little butterflies. And I think I have 3. One has flown away. Well, there it is. Okay, so I have 3 butterflies. And I'm just going to really quickly color those. Then I'll have all my coloring done. All right, so for these, I'm going to start just with the dark Pool Party in their center for their bodies. Can you tell my fingers are sticky? Everything's sticking, especially these little bits. So Sherry and I, my demonstrator friend from Canada, we started our 12 days of Christmas today. So we go live for 12 days in a row and share projects, 2 projects a day. So the participants, by the time we're done, have 24 different ideas. We featured the Traditions of Christmas suite, and it's gorgeous. The paper, there's special dyes that go with it, the images, really, really pretty. And so today was day 1, so we're just getting started on that. So that's really, really fun. We do that in a private Facebook group. Okay, so we've got these pieces. I think that's everything. Yeah, you know what, yeah, okay. So I'm going to bring my die cutting machine back up and die cut these 2 pieces. And then we're about ready to put this together. This is probably good now. Yeah, this is good. I'll set that aside a minute while I bring up my die cutting machine. Okay. My plates. Okay, so I need my little bowl and then my sunflower die. They're not really sunflowers. Well, I guess they are. To me, they look like it because maybe they're purple cone flowers. They have that big brown center. Okay, so I'm going to put this across here. I'm going to get another Post-it note, especially since I've already colored these. I just want to make sure that these dies don't slip as I'm running it through the machine. So let's see, that looks pretty good. Okay, so we have that. Let me just crank this through. The other fun thing, I see I'm going down memory lane here, but I remember, and some of you may remember this if you're local to me, my daughter Faith, my youngest, she would help me when I had classes here, and she used to always say that when she grew up, she wanted to be a Stampin' Up. So, okay, so my die slipped a little bit, but we're just going to go with it. Whoop. She's a teacher now, so. And she has that beautiful, like, teacher printing, and it's very creative, so she does. I mentioned how much she likes to read, and she does beautiful, like, book reading journals every year. She does so that she can keep track of all the books that she's read. It's pretty cool. Okay, so next I'm going to take this and I'm going to make my little vase. And you know, because this slipped a little bit, I'm going to just trim this. Because I don't want all that white to show, and this is an easy thing to correct. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to get my dimensionals. And before I do that, though, I want to grab my words. And I'm going to use Grateful for Your Friendship. This is a really good word set. It has thanks for being there, grateful for your friendship. You get me, and I appreciate that. You make my life better just by being in it. So I'm going to grab the grateful for your friendship. I'm going to put that on my block. All our stamps are photopolymer going forward, which I love. So when I learned to stamp back all those years ago, 25 years ago, I learned with wood blocks. Everything was wood mounted, and when I found out that we were going to switch to clear like these blocks, I thought, oh no, I can't do that. I've got to stick with my wood blocks. It's how I learned to stamp. Well, now I love these. I can't imagine using wood blocks, and with the photopolymer, you can see exactly where you're stamping. So I think it's easier to get things straight. So, okay, so we got that. So let's go ahead and put this together. I'm going to pop this up with some dimensionals. And I just have some little ends here. I'm going to use these. I know you all do the same thing. If you don't, you should use every bit of this. Okay, I'm just going to pop this up. And we'll put this right there, like that. And then we have a new ribbon, and this is called, it's just called Garden Green and White, but it has a really cool, almost like a chevron pattern to it. And I'm just going to fold this in half. And I'm going to tack this on the edge of my vase or bowl with a glue dot. Like that. And that's a little bit too long. I'm going to just snip it a bit. Yeah, so don't forget, I know that some of you weren't here right when I started. Don't forget to come back this week and check out my page, because when you comment, you have a chance to win prizes. I need to look in my stash and see what I have that I can give away. Try to find some good stuff. And then again, if you place an order for every $25 that you order, in product, you get your name in a drawing, and I'll be giving away 2 big prizes on Saturday morning. I'll post the winners, and 2 will get $25 shopping spree, and 1 will get $100 shopping spree, which is really exciting. So, okay, so I've tied a bow with linen thread, and I'm just going to tack this right on top of this new green ribbon, like that. Okay. This is going to go here, like that. And isn't that pretty? I love this paper and how these colors are just pulled from that. Now I have some glue here, so I am going to take my adhesive eraser. Oh gosh, this will make it look worse. See if I can get that off of there. That's a really gummy. Let's see if I can get this off of there. I may have to work at this after we're done. There we go. It's kind of hard to get it off with this textured paper, but there we go. There we go. Okay. All right. I'll work on that a little bit more when I'm done. There we go. That looks good. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just put this here, and I'm going to pop this up. Isn't that pretty? I love the colors of this. It's just so soft and pretty. I could actually put it there and cover up my boo-boo. Maybe I will. I think I'm going to do that. I'll put that there. Then I'll show you my original sample, and we can decide which side we like it better on. But you know, sometimes when you need to cover up a little boo-boo, you have to change your original idea. Oh, hi, Lane. Oh, you got 2 inches of snow? Okay. It's pretty cold here, and it's been snowing all day, but the sun's out, and it's just so weird because it's snowing, but then it stops, and we still have all these leaves on the trees. Okay, so I'm going to put that there like that. Nobody will know that I blobbed some glue under there, right? So there's the front of my card. Now I'm going to do the fun part, which is the inside of the card, and we're going to use this mechanism. So here's my box, and what I'm going to do is just put glue on the front and the back, mainly just around the edge here. I think my favorite part of this, the insert, the box, is the flaps on the box. I think those are really fun. There is another die in this set that, so what I want to do, I'm going to get this fold for the insert as close as I can to the score line of my card base. Make sure I can get that straight there. Okay. And then I'm just going to close this. I'm going to be a little bit careful because I can tell I have some glue on my hands. That means it's been a good day, right? If you have glue and, so I'm going to take my bone folder. If you have glue and ink on your hands, it means a good day. Or dirt if you're a gardener, in my case. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a second to hold. And again, this would be a good time to just take one of your blocks and sit your block right on there. You could take a couple of them and that, you know, just to make sure that that's going to hold really well, but I think we're fine. So then when you open it up, it goes like this, and you have this little box. And so what I'm going to do is first of all, take this piece, and I'm going to stamp a greeting on the inside, and I picked out the one that says, "You make my life better just by being in it." That is to all of you today and celebrating my 25th anniversary, and you really do make my life better just by being in it. I'm very serious when I say that I love all of you, and what a blessing it's been in my life and the friendships that I've made. Most of you I would not have known had I not started stamping, so that's all such a great thing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just glue this. Hi, Linda, how are you? You had 8 inches of snow. Wow. Oh, in Canada, sure. Wow. Okay, so there is the inside, and then I wanted to add these flowers. So these are the flowers that I just cut a minute ago, colored and cut. So I'm going to go ahead and tack these in here. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the stems. And I'm just going to put that right there, like that. And yeah, and this is another time I need to I'm just going to let that sit there like that for a minute. In the meantime, I'm going to take my little butterflies, and I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of these. See if I have some minis in here. Yeah, here's some. So I'll just put mini dimensionals on the back of these. Isn't this fun? Wouldn't you like to get this card in the mail? I would. It'd be fun. And I will share all the measurements for this card. Okay, so let's take that up. All right, so here we go. We have Give me a second here. Okay. Give that a press. And then we're going to add our butterflies. And I thought it would be cute to add one right up here by the sentiment, and then just a couple others. I think the first thing I'm going to do, whoops, when I'm done today is go wash my hands. Oh my goodness. So I'll just put one here like that, and then another one above it. Isn't this fun? This is a great card to make on a snowy day because it just makes you happy. It's colorful, and flowers are always a good thing, right? So there's my card. I want to, oh, thank you, Marcia. You know I love you, my friend. I'm going to use some new gems, and these are called Earthy Matte Dots. I love these. Look at the colors. Look how gorgeous those are. And they are, I don't know if you can see by how I hold this, they're really flat, which means they're going to be really great to put in the mail. And so I'm just going to use one of the pecan pie ones and slip this off, and I'll just put it right there. So there is my card. Grateful for your friendship. You make my life better just by being in it, with that fun pop-up. So who would not like to get a card like that in the mail, right? And then, of course, for the envelope, I would probably stamp the flowers again. Maybe I would put a strip of this on the envelope flap, and it's just a fun, pretty card. So let me know what you think. Do you like this one? Is it something that you would like to try sometime? Let me know what you think. I think it's really fun, and actually using those dies makes it so easy. Oh yeah, and don't forget, look at the cute little flaps on the end, on the box. Isn't that just so cute? Like I said, that's like my favorite part. I think that's a really nice added detail. All right, so I'm going to bring this in again just to remind you. It is my 25th anniversary. I'm celebrating all week long. You all have a chance to win a prize. I'll be polling names every day. Like Tuesday morning, I'll poll for everyone that's left a comment today. You'll get your name in that drawing. And then if you place an order this week, for every $25 that you order, you'll get your name in the drawing for that. And I'm giving away some really good prizes, a $25, basically like a gift certificate. I will be gifting you Stampin' rewards, and then the grand prize is $100. So I hope you will join in celebrating with me. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you all so much for following me in this journey of 25 years. It's hard to believe. And when I think about especially how the age of my girls when I started, especially that my daughter Faith was only 2 years old. She's 27 now. So, gosh, it's just hard to believe. Anyway, thank you so much. Let me hold this up again so you can see. Isn't that fun? So much fun. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I look forward to reading your comments all week, and I wish you all the best when I'm polling the winners. I wish that you could all be winners. Thank you so much. Take care. And as always, I hope you have time to be creative today. Bye-bye.